We'd like to thank Montecito Bank and Trust for their generous support in making Scam Squad possible. I'm Patty Teal.
And I'm Deputy District Attorney Vicki Johnson. Scam Squad is up next.
Sound off.
1, 2.
Sound off.
3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Scam Squad.
Welcome to Scam Squad. I'm Patty Teal, here again as usual with Deputy District Attorney Vicki Johnson with the latest warnings about the scams that are targeting our community. Hi, Vicki.
Hi, Patty. Nice to be back.
It's always great to be here with you.
Thank you. The holiday season is upon us, and once again, the scammers are taking full advantage of recent events. In this case, the supply chain disruptions at our harbors.
Now, Vicki, I've heard in the news that there's a huge backload of shipping containers at our harbors that can't unload their cargoes. I'm assuming that some of those cargoes are loaded with Christmas toys. Is that correct?
That's right, Patty. And with parents and grandparents absolutely frantic to get those must-have holiday gifts, which I understand this year include LOL Surprise and Baby Yodas, the disruption plays right into the scammers' hands.
Are the scammers going to solve this supply problem for us?
Well, of course, we know that this is their MO. They either create a problem or take advantage of an existing problem, and then, of course, supply the solution. And here's a sobering statistic. According to a survey by ARP, 35% of U.S. adults have experienced a fraud when buying through an online ad.
That is really an alarming statistic. You know, more than 1/3 of people.
Yes.
How do these scams work, Vicki?
Well, each year, fraudsters, scammers will set up fake websites that offer those hard-to-get products, and in this case, those hard-to-get Christmas presents. It's going to be even worse this year with the online shopping demand. So how it works is these fake websites will entice us into buying a particular product, which we will then never receive. And in the process of purchasing the product, they will try and download malware on our computers so they can steal our logins and passwords. And Patty, you also have to be really careful of emails and texts that look like they're coming from legitimate senders, banks or retailers, charities, even a friend. For example, we're seeing a lot of fake emails from Amazon, the fake Amazon, claiming that you need to click on a link to either verify your account or get some current shipping information. Or, as we heard from Judge Eskin last week, an email coming from a supposed friend asking for a favor, which always involves buying gift cards.
Oh, now that sounds too familiar. Isn't that what Judge Eskin recently told us about on an episode?
Absolutely. He did not fall for the scam. He thankfully figured it out in time. And of course, Patty, as always, if you see a deal that's too good to be true, it probably is. So that's a link to avoid.
And when they want you to click on a link, they probably want you to verify all kinds of personal information that can lead to trouble.
Absolutely. It can result in identity theft. Now, Experian, the credit reporting agency, found that 8% of consumers reported being a victim of identity theft during the holiday season. And almost half of those consumers said that it happened to them while they were shopping online.
That's a large number of people when you consider that most of us are doing our shopping online these days.
That's right. Fraudsters will also run bogus online auctions or post ads on Craigslist and social media where they claim that they can get and resell these sought-after gifts.
And Vicki, I would imagine with the supply chain problems this year, making those scarce toys harder to find, parents are going to be even more vulnerable to these scams, and basically all kinds of shoppers will be more vulnerable.
Absolutely. It was interesting for me to learn that online shopping scams are among the top 10 scams plaguing the country, and that's every year. Of all of the problems getting these hard to find items, it's going to be even worse this year.
It sounds like it. What can we do to protect ourselves from these scams?
Well, first and foremost, and I really am sorry to say this, we have to be suspicious because scammers count on us to act without first thinking things through. You know, when you're so desperate to get that gift for your grandchild or your child, you sometimes just don't stop and think. You're just desperate to act. So if you see a price discount that's too good to be true, especially for a hard to find toy, it is probably a scam. The safest place to buy is with retailers that you have used in the past, and it would include in that online retailers that you've used in the past. You also really need to watch out for those emails or text messages promising these hard to find gifts or discounts. You really don't know where these are coming from, so don't click on those links, even those pointing to, quote, a discount code. Because if you do, malware can get into your computer. And one of the things we need to be careful about are counterfeit toys. Nearly 1 in 5 parents have reported that their child received a counterfeit toy. And the reason we want to avoid this is that these toys are not made according to our federal toy safety standards, and they could be dangerous for your child. Again, reduce your risk by shopping with retailers that you know. Another good tip, Patty, is to pay with a credit card, because if you do that, you have dispute resolution rights if the transaction goes bad. Be sure and avoid gift cards, peer-to-peer payment apps, or wire transfers. That's what the fraudsters use. And this is a very good tip. If you've never heard of a company before, check it out. And here's how you do that. You type the name of the company in your web browser with the words complaint, scam, fraud, and see what comes up. I have done this, and sometimes you will be very surprised. And finally, be suspicious if you see an ad that has spelling errors, an unprofessional website design, unusual addresses. These are most likely fake websites, and they should be avoided.
Hey, Vicki, thank you so much for the good tips. I think we can all use them this holiday season. And you are correct. I've received statistics from the BBB on their podcast, Your Moment of Trust. And it's just phenomenal in a bad way how scams online are rising.
Yes,
Yeah,
especially this year.
absolutely. Thank you so much. Would you give your fraud hotline number?
I will. It's area code 805-568-2442. So I'll say it again, 805-568-2442.
Thank you so much, Vicki, for those great tips.